How's it going, everybody? I hope you brought snacks. Welcome back to Yap Night. I was recording another video in another game, and I kept wanting to make this video. And what prompted this was, in the last one I said this is kind of an introduction to me, but I noticed I didn't really talk a lot about myself. I talked more about like the situation, what I want to do moving forward. And then after I'd posted that video, I got a lot of support, and I thank you all so much for supporting me trying something new. It means the world to me. But I got a few questions, and one of the questions I got was, why did I make my channel? And I realized that in my so-called introduction, I didn't really introduce myself at all. So let's go ahead and actually talk about that, because I answered the question in the comments very briefly. However, it's not really a brief answer. It deserves a lot more to be said about it, and I kind of want to talk so you guys fully do understand why I make content and why I've been trying to make content for so long. So this is going to get a little personal, not like heavily like oversharing anything like that. But I do feel like I need to give context as to why I started pursuing something like this. I need a fire weapon. And of course, there's going to be my broken commentary for me doing things as well. Because as is wont to do. I guess I'll go here. I'm on the backside. Yeah, I need to go around. I need to go around. Luckily, Wilder has the best mobility in the whole game, and I love it. But growing up, I didn't have a lot of that positivity. I didn't have a lot of, hey, you can do this. Hey, you can do that. You can do anything you set your mind to. I didn't have a lot of that growing up from anyone, really. And I was diagnosed at like 8 years old with ADHD. I was on Ritalin for most of my life. So I was in that kind of stigma of this kid's got to go take medication at school all the time. He's kind of a weirdo, because back then it was a big issue, right? A lot of people didn't really understand it. People to this day still don't really understand it a lot. And it just became one of those things where my parents didn't know what was going on, and I'm getting shot by an arrow. Bitch, I'm trying to open up here. Can you please stop? So throughout a lot of my life, it was more just like how to manage this natural part of who I am. And I didn't really get a lot of like, oh yeah, you can go do this. You can try to do this. A lot of like support that I feel is crucial to a lot of people these days. You are in the floor, sir. Are you good? Are you having a good time with that floor? Sorry to interrupt you. I will come back later. That was great. That was definitely a scene we just witnessed. Stone sword key, I'll take that. I'm not running a stone sword build, so I'll just take it for extra souls because they're always good to run. But so that was a lot of how I was raised, was that kind of navigating an ADHD diagnosis when you're really young in like the early 2000s. So growing up, it was kind of just like, okay, well, I'm just trying to make it through. I'm just trying to learn how to navigate this, and it kind of caused me to not really have a lot of close relationships. I didn't have a lot of friends. I was definitely one of those people that I didn't feel like I had a place, I should say. And wildly enough, one of the things that helped me feel like I had someone in my corner, feel like I had someone there to just hang out with, was YouTube. I think that that's a really beautiful thing about content, is that people can be there for each other, even if you don't know them. Like, I never got a parasocial relationship with any of the people I watched. I'm insane, obviously, but I've gotten the madness. It was just one of those things where it's like, I don't feel like I belong. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel really alone. I'm going to put on a YouTube video. That is what YouTube has always been for me, was a way of having someone there when you didn't feel like anyone else was. So I've always chased trying to, oh, I'm gonna die, I'm not leveled up. This might be a much different game than the last one. I've always wanted to do the same for other people. So I'm a musician, I draw things, and I always just liked creating stuff because I noticed that making things made people happy. You do that, you do that. He's just being angry. He's being insane. It's fine. Just give him a little slap. Where's the circle? I'm in the circle. I'm good. As I continue, okay, what are we doing? Improve jumping attacks? I'll just use my stamina. One thing that, so I noticed that creativity and making things helped people, like, made people happy. It was one of those things that when you're looking at a really nice drawing, or even like a stupid drawing of your favorite character or like a fandom, you were happy looking at that thing. And I was like, okay, I want to do that. My dad was a musician, so I got into music really early on. I play the guitar, I play piano, and I've been a vocalist in a few bands, which I think my sing-songy personality sometimes does shine through on that. But creativity has always been a big thing for me, and my goal with creativity is, like, when I wanted to write songs, I'd always write something meaningful. I love to write poetry that kind of talked about, like, the isolation, not feeling alone, and all of that. And then I got into cooking, because when I noticed that people are the happiest when they're eating, I noticed that if it is really hard for people to be angry when they are eating a good meal. And it, to me, turned into like the ultimate way of just making people happy in this world. So I've been in the restaurant industry for Dodge. Sir, I've been in the restaurant industry for like 10 years. I was kitchen manager. I was a chef. I've worked in every type of restaurant from fine dining to fast food. And the coolest thing is, no matter where you are, everyone is happy when they're eating. Everyone is so happy when they're eating. When they're waiting for their food, not so much. But I feel like that's just going to happen. I have tried so many different creative outlets, and I just like making things. I still draw every now and then. I wrote some short stories for a bunch of different projects I was trying to do. I've written songs. Like I said, the outro song you hear was done by me. It's something very fun. I want to make more music. I just like making things. And I want to make things that make me happy and in turn can maybe make someone else happy. My goal with YouTube has always been, hey, I want to continue to do what I've tried to do and support others the best I can. With YouTube in particular, I never felt, I think this is a really important one. A lot of people today feel very supported starting a YouTube channel with their friends, their family. Like, a lot of kids are getting supported to like try this social media thing out. And that's awesome. I absolutely love seeing that. It is beautiful. That might actually be good for fire attack power, since that's what I'm going for. And as I continue to see that, it's great. I love how many people are trying this out. I think it's fantastic. I think pushing people to any type of creative medium is always a great thing to do. Like, giving people the tools to be like, hey, try this out. Hey, why don't you try this? Have fun with what you're doing. And I didn't get any of that really when I was growing up. It was kind of just like, I'm doing this for me and I want to try this. So I pushed myself. And it was hard. It was really hard. You fall into these parts of like, I'm giving up. I'm not going to be doing much. One of the reasons Dark Souls means so much to me as a series is because I had stopped playing games in general. I had sold my PS3. I had sold a bunch of stuff so I could get some clothes, get some stuff I liked, and I didn't really have anything to play anymore. And I didn't really feel like a reason to. And I'd been raised on, Nintendo games, my N64, my PlayStation, my whole life. And it was a big part of who I was. And I just gave up on it. And one day I go over to my buddy's house and he's playing Dark Souls. And hey, get your bitch ass back here. what happened from there was just like I started to just love it. It sparked this sense of wonder because my favorite series of all time is Legend of Zelda. Like my favorite game of all time is The Wind Waker. And Dark Souls kind of brought in that kind of sense of adventure because I am more to the side of fantasy than I am towards sci-fi. 100%. I lean more towards fantasy than I do for sci-fi. So playing Dark Souls for the first time was kind of just like, oh, I need to get back into this. So I had like a crappy laptop that could barely run anything. And my first playthrough of Dark Souls was on a trackpad on, on this little laptop. And so started playing that, started having fun again. And it really brought back a part of my life that I thought was kind of, in the wayside. A lot of people talk about growing out of games. I don't feel like you grow out of games sometimes. Some people do, definitely. I feel like you just stop playing them because you feel like you are too old for them. You're never too old to have fun. You are never too old to have fun. Enjoy it. I'll probably go with Gargoyle's Greatsword. This should still have the fire. Yeah, okay, good. You are never too old to have fun. You are never too old to enjoy something. Do it. I feel like there's a lot of the stigma around stuff like that. Just have fun. Enjoy it. It doesn't matter how old you are. Like you have, I think the perfect example is Skyrim Grandma, who I know she's not playing Skyrim anymore, but I loved seeing her pop up. She's such a sweet lady, and it's so cool to see. This is how these kind of videos are going to go. I don't know how many more of these I'm going to do. I'm not really a commentary channel or like a talking channel like this, but I felt like I owed it to you guys and to myself to kind of actually talk about why I do this stuff. Because honestly, sometimes talking about why you make content is to some people cringy, especially when you try to say like, oh yeah, no, I'm doing this for myself and to try to make people happy. Like I said, I don't care if this stays a hobby for the rest of my life. I want to keep going. Is there another dude over here? No, they're all dead. I got all the dudes. I'm not getting that dude. I'm going to go over here. Wait, why is it up there? I thought it was in a completely different place. It's in front of castle. Damn, I'm lost. So after a while, I met an amazing individual, and we've been together for like 10 years now. And I started trying to make content 7 years ago because I had someone in my life who supported me and who was like, hey, you should try to do it. Because I talked about how much I've been wanting to make videos, specifically like Markiplier, because I will always say he's my biggest inspiration. If I were to pick one creator to watch for the rest of my life, I think it'd be him. Just because of what he's done for me, what he's done for others, and just he's inspiring to me with how much he's done himself. So I finally had a partner that was like pushing me. I was like, hey, you've been wanting to try this. You've been wanting to do this. You know you can, right? So I'm like, cool, let's do it. Let's try it. My first attempt at content was 20. So this again also explain why I'm so comfortable talking to a camera and doing all this stuff. My first attempt at content was in 2017. I did just classic Let's Plays. I had my face cam in the top left corner. I did all this stuff. Ow, my back. And I played Outlast. And the reason I know what year it was because Horizon Zero Dawn had just come out. And that was one of the games I was gonna play. And I ended up breaking the game and getting a bug that kind of destroyed my playthrough. In like the very beginning, there's a mission where the gate's supposed to open for you. And I don't know what I did, but it just would not open. So I ended up just being completely locked into the very beginning of the game, which did not give me a good experience. So I kind of stopped making the series. And then I tried doing a few other games, but I had started working, and that's when I started to become like a kitchen manager and get more responsibility on my plate. Whee! Hi, buddy. Whee! Oh, you delaying it. You're the person these No, Margit's the person the animations are based off of, but you suck. It was so funny going from Dark Souls to Elden Ring because not a lot of enemies delayed their attacks, and those were the hardest enemies. You come to Elden Ring, I feel like a lot of its difficulty came from everyone delayed their attacks. You're like, oh, wee. But anyway, so I started doing a lot more and having a lot more work and a lot more responsibility, so I wasn't able to necessarily do as much content-wise. So I kind of stopped for a good, like, I want to say year or... Oh, I'm what? A good year or so. Oh, buddy. I might die. This might be over soon. Because of that delay. Here, give me some health real quick. Hold on. I'm going to stand in the flowers. Sir, when I say I'm going to stand in the flowers, you don't come over and try to smooch me. You go away. But I started getting a little bit more comfortable with it. Ow. There's pain. I don't have anything for healing. Is there any more flowers around? Sir, I demand flowers. You can at least buy me flowers before you do this to me. Oh, shit. Whew, thank you, Wilder skill. Go do the third. Back up. I should actually probably focus. So I'd stopped doing content for like a few years. Just because, you know, I started being like, no, I need to work. I need to focus on doing all this other stuff. I need to do everything else to make sure that, you know, I can take care of myself. I can pay rent. I can do all the bill things that adults have to do. And eventually I got really tired of being a kitchen manager in different companies that I ended up taking a break from everything and working for a specific game store that, oh no. Sir, no spinning tail. No spinning tail. None of that. None of that. You're rude. You're very rude. So here, come here. I'm gonna give you a shot real quick. You're gonna calm the fuck down. I'm gonna do this. Cool. So once I had started like kind of GameStop, I didn't touch Twitch ever until that. I'm dead. I hadn't touched Twitch at all. Buddy, I just got back up. You stop. Let me get my health back. You absolute dick. You doing a 3? You're doing a triple. I'm going in. However, I do need to back up. I do need to play it very careful. Oh, wait, that's the bad one. Nope. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, I'm trying to talk here. But I was on Twitter trying to, like, meet people, and I met someone who was a streamer. And I was playing a game at the time that is still one of my favorite games that a sequel's coming out to, and I have to replay the first one to get ready for it. It's called Outward. I was a part of the Outward community, and I'd met someone who's streaming themselves playing Outward. And it was really fun. I'd like never seen a stream before in my life. I'm gonna die. I'm playing too passively. I can't be playing that passively. Oh, I'm against the wall. So I started going to their streams and I started talking to them and being like, okay. Yep, there's the death. Okay. Actually, wait. Do the roll. Full send. And dead. Got him. Woo! So I started going to his streams and watching him play Outward and like learning some tricks and some other tips and stuff like that. And it was really, really cool. I'd never been part of like the streaming community. It's not something I've ever done before. So it was cool to kind of see this new version of things. I don't have any healing. Well, this boss is very easy. I would like a few pots. So I started like talking to a lot of people. I started meeting a lot of people who are in the streaming community, and it was really nice. I still have an Everjail key, don't I? Yeah, I haven't used it yet. I'm gonna pop this one open. So I started being like, yeah, maybe I haven't been able to like actually like make videos. I guess I already used it. I guess, did I? Who did I fight? Oh, wait. Brain. No, I can't remember. I can't remember using it, but I guess I did. Apparently, probably like go back 5-10 minutes of the video. It's probably there. But I started being like, hey, how do I, you know, approach this? How do I get into it? And they were all very kind in like showing me the ropes, how to do things, getting my first channel to affiliate and all that was amazing. It was such a fun community to be a part of. And it was very much, it felt like a community. And then this is before there were some changes to Twitch Because a lot of my friends that I streamed with no longer make content because of certain changes that Twitch made to their platform, which is why streaming is kind of a touchy subject for me with certain things. On one hand, I love it as a community. On other hands, I don't like what has happened to the landscape. But there was this moment in like Twitch history, I should say, where there was a streaming group called Streamer Royale. Or Streamers Royale. It was a Discord group. And back then, lurking counted as a view. Spoiler alert, it doesn't really count as a view anymore. If you don't lurk or interact in a chat, you don't exist to Twitch. Which sucks, because especially when viewership is how you make money on Twitch or how you get partnership or how you get anything else, to pretty much have you view be like, you're not counted because you're not interacting. When lurking is the lifeblood of Twitch, it's really sad. So there is that. And the reason that happened was because people abused the system. And Streamer Royale, what they did was they had a Discord system based on points. And what they ended up doing was, if you lurk in a certain person's stream for so long, you get a certain amount of points, and then you move up to like the priority list for you to be lurked so you can start to get your partnership. So they gamed the system to get everyone in that Discord partnered really quickly. And it ended up people who didn't really have actual interaction or anything like that to partner in immediately in like a month because they were just manipulating the system. And because Twitch had this massive influx of partnership applications, they had to look into what was going on and saw that people were abusing it. And that's when they changed to, you kind of need to be active every hour. You need to send a message or something. And started not really counting as many people and just kind of filtering them out. And which is sad because, like I said, lurking, in my opinion, is the lifeblood of any stream. I don't expect anyone to chat. I'm very happy that my entire commentary style is I talk at a camera. You guys can jump in if you want. Oh, jeez. Sir, we just started. Excuse me. Wow, you really want my butt. But I think that's one thing that a lot of people didn't understand was that, and Twitch in general is very blind to what streaming is, I feel. They just look at the monetary side. Whee! Hi, buddy. I can come to you too. Yeah, what's up? I love Wilders. John Elden Ring here putting in work for everybody I missed. There we go. So I ended up having a lot of my friends quit because we were all averaging like, 30, 40 viewers a stream. Because we had friends, we had an actual community that we had working together. Oh, I'm getting that. That is perfect. We had an actual community working together, supporting each other, showing the love to each other. And it was awesome. It felt like being a part of something. The moment the Twitch found out about all this stuff and changed a bunch of things, none of those views counted anymore. And I watched someone who was close to partner go from like 60, 68, 69 viewers a stream. I wanted to say 69 immediately, but I was like, no, be mature. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be mature. Go from like 69, 70 viewers to like 10 because lurking no longer counted as a actual view. And what that did to a lot of people's mentality in streaming was it killed them. Like, it completely killed any drive they had for making content. Which is really sad to see when you see so many people who are doing great. Like, hands down, doing a great job and putting in the work, socializing, talking to other people and doing like, hey, let's go do this, let's go do that. Let's actually try to meet people. And you watch them all fall off. Not because of the lack of work and effort they're putting through, but because of what other people did to abuse the system. It was the saddest thing. And I tried to keep streaming for a while. I tried to keep it up because I like I said, I like the, Why did you stop on a rock, buddy? What are you, that weak? Stop it. No. Bad. Bad, alone, and misforgotten. Ow. My face. Yeah, we're good. Jumpies. And thank you for that attack. Jumpies. You ever want to know how to play like Elden Ring in a very cheese way? Just jump attack everything, because you just get massive stance breaking. Jump heavy, I should say. But that's why you see a lot of people doing it. It does massive stance break to the enemy, so you can get the parries more often. Physical damage negation, I'll take it. I need a level. I also need to go and see where we're going, because Castle got blocked off and I am only level, oh no. This might be GG's and go next, lads. So I see a lot of my friends like quit streaming, and a really sad thing for me was one thing I did on that channel myself was I would help people reach affiliate. I would literally try and message people that I thought were really cool. And I was like, hey, do you want to like learn, do you need help streaming, getting started? Just like how my friend had done for me, I wanted to do that for other people. So I was very like inviting to a lot of people. I helped a lot of people understand like getting comfortable, setting up their audio for a stream. And I just wanted to help. That's all I wanted to do. So I kept doing it. And the sad part is we got all of them to affiliate, but none of them do this anymore because of that change. I've outlasted, I think, literally all the people I used to stream with. And it's sad. It hurts because when you get bogged down by metrics, being like, I'm going to make this a career, it is so hard to keep yourself going when something goes wrong. I hate you, Wormface. Please do not deathblight me. You are one of my least favorite enemies in this game. No. Don't you grab me. There's one attack he can do that's just going to absolutely destroy me, and it's a stupid grab. So I'm going to do this. And hope he dies, sir. Yeah, that's what you get. I get the little one now. Ha! You ain't tough. I'm tough. Oh, wait, you might actually step... Oh, never mind, you missed. You overshot it. But I've outlasted literally all my friends. And to say that and be serious about it is extremely sad. Because when you've worked with so many people, you consider them as coworkers, you consider them as friends, part of a community, and you've watched them all disappear. Oh, let's go see what the boss is over here. You've watched every single one of them stop doing something that they said they loved. It hurts, but it's a crushing reality of how content is treated for a lot of people. Like, a lot of people see this as, hey, I can, turn this into a career. And they approach it for the first, 6 months, 1 year as, I'm making this a job. And that's just not the case for a lot of people. It needs to be a hobby before it's anything else. You're going to scream. That's fine. I'm going to zip in. I'm going to do this. You're going to hit. I'm going to zip in one more time. Drop the shield. Do a slam. And I'm going to do this. When you've played the game so long, you know all the attacks. There's a bleed. Zip in. I do that. Yep. Stab, 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 jump. Stab. Boom. Boom. Nope. One more time. In we go. Slap. It's all pre-planned. It's all pre-planned. Improve holy rate, stamina recovery speed. I'll take that. And then we're going to head up through here and probably hit this shrine and maybe hit these two, since I'm having to resort to just going to camps to try and get souls. But it hurt. It hurt a lot. And I started to struggle a lot. Seeing, not because I was feeling the same way, but more so because everyone around me had quit. Like, I wanted to do this for other reasons. I was in a weird mental state when I was doing streaming, and a lot of people just leaving randomly like that really hurt to see. But you see that, and it's really hard to keep going. And for a while, I literally didn't think I was going to be streaming anymore. When I started this channel, I went back to just focusing on YouTube. I didn't really start streaming or decide what I wanted to do with VTuber model or anything like that until a few years ago. And then I got back to streaming and meeting a whole new group of people, which are amazing. And I'm happy to call my friends. And I started kind of progressing through and growing as a creator finally, because I had seen what that toxic mentality had done to so many of my friends that I was like, I'm never going to have that again. And every time my friends talk to me in that kind of mentality, I remind them every single time. Like, my friends are just like, I got to game the algorithm. I got to learn it. I got to test all these things, all these secrets and all this like social engineering and shit like that. And I'm just like, no, you don't need to. Remember to have fun. Because the thing that's going to crush you is when you do all this research, you're like, this video is going to blow up. And then it does like 3 views because the algorithm is unpredictable and you can never tell what it's going to do. You really can't. Some of the randomest shorts of mine have gone, search engine optimization. It's not social engineering. My brain was like stuck on it. I was like, that's not the right word. Search engine optimization, like all this other stuff. But a lot of people try to put a lot of stock in that. I will remind every single one of my friends every time they talk to me about it, like, no, don't do this. Remember to have fun. I know it's hard because like this is what, you know, a lot of people want to do. They want to make the content. They want to make this their career. There's a lot of money to be made in this if you are one of the lucky few that can do it. However, the main thing is not everyone can do it. It is all a matter of luck. It's not like, hey, you put in a little bit of work, you're going to get big off this. It's not like that. You need... No, I need fire. Proof attack power 1, 2 hiding. That's good. That's good. More damage for me, please. Still don't level up, you stupid bitch. Ah! All right, anyway. We going into this boss level 12 in a dream, baby. Let's go. I don't think I can do that camp, so I'm just going to kill these lads here, get to level 12. Maybe be level 13 with a dream when we go in. So I've kind of gone through a lot and been through the ringer to kind of see a bunch of different mentalities and how they affect the content you make, the things you do. And I will continue to always tell my friends, like, hey, focus on having fun, make something you want to make. Otherwise, you're just going to not want to keep going. Maybe I can make this. It is a hard one. I think I waited too long. Probably could have if I tried it first, but I'm too busy doing the yapping. So now I'm doing this, right? And because of the support you guys have shown me on the last video, I don't think I've ever felt as ready to do the content I truly want to do. I talked about it last video, but if you go back to very early on, I started this channel with episodic Let's Plays. I did Dark Souls, I did Dolmen, I did a bunch of games that I had fun doing. They were unedited, like 30-minute episodes. And then I started focusing on kind of bigger content. Like, one of my favorite creators is a guy named Zero Lenny. And him and Indie Mouse kind of do the type of content I want to do, where it is long, full-on, you play the game in one video, and he puts some commentary, post and current. And that's kind of the stuff I would prefer to do. And I started doing that for a while. And then, stop it. Work caught up with me. And I wasn't able to put in the time I wanted to. So I started focusing again on streaming. And I started to get overwhelmed, and I changed my schedule. One thing my friend has told me about making content is if I'm going to switch my schedule or my focus, I need to stick to it this time. I've been scolded. And to be fair, though, he's fully right. Really dear friend of mine, and I wouldn't really... a sounding board for me a lot of the time, too. My buddy Rain. If you go to, I think, the Raft playthrough and Vampire Survivors, he is featured in there with my friend Hifumi. And it's just one of those things where the friends and the support are what help you get through this. A lot of people risk a lot of their social lives and personal lives to do content, and it's important to get that kind of support system. I need to heal. I need to get him down first, because the other guys I don't care about. Him, Draconic Tree Sentinel, you killed my rune level 1 run, buddy. You are an ass, and you know it. Huh. Slappies. Give me the bleed. Do this. Give me the bleed. Nope. Oof. Run. Run. Ooh, thank you for not hitting me with the shockwave. But I've tried a lot of things on this channel. If you go far back enough, I was still doing horror. Like, you'll notice one thing has always become a thing. Horror content has always been a part of this channel. I have a bunch of different models, a bunch of different styles, but there was a moment where I actually was like, hey, I need a human model. You know, all VTubers got like that sexy human model design that you gotta have because you gotta do the thirst traps. And I will say, I love the design. I love what we came up with. It's absolutely fantastic. Those streams, and when I used that model, it wasn't me. Like, I'll say some out of left field stuff before, like while I'm streaming, like some really dumb stuff. Like talking about Nemesis in Hades 2, or saying some really stupid stuff. But I'm not that kind of like thirst trap VTuber. That's not I can't make content like that. I just want to be a little goofball. I like being a slime. I like being me. This is who I am. So I started in May, I want to say April of this year, being like, no, we're going to upload daily shorts to YouTube. We're going to start focusing on this. And I think I was at 1,000 subscribers, and now we're at the end of the year about to hit 4,000. Because of the work I've put in and all the support and amazing stuff from you folks as well. I will always say it, a creator is nothing without their community. Any creator who says that I don't need anybody, I did this all myself, everyone who watched their videos is why they're doing what they're doing. If you guys do not watch the videos of the bigger creators, they don't make any money, they can't do this. The community is the lifeblood of what we do here, and that's just what it is. So here I am, 7 years later, trying to continue to make content specifically so I can make people laugh. Nope. Specifically to do the same thing that was done for me by Mark, by Jack, Game Grumps, and all them for so long, when they were just kind and caring to their entire community, to others. And I think the main thing for me was, am I in danger? Oh yeah, I'm in danger. I need to get more over this way. 1 second. Let's go. This is such a cool set piece if you've never seen this boss. I don't know how many of you play Elden Ring Night Ring, but this is so cool. Just to see the sky fall down in these little tendrils of ice. I love this boss. I think it is the easiest boss in this whole game, though. That is the one thing about it. He is so damn easy. Get the stagger. Get this. And he's going to low ice. And you can dodge through it if you don't want to get hit by the frostbite. But here I am now trying to do the exact same thing that they did for me, for everyone else. Yep. Oh, that's actually pretty bad. Can I hit your tail? Can I play some Monster Hunter and just chop off the tail, sir? Now you do that. You have fun. You have fun. And I will continue to do nothing but that. I could easily like try and follow trends and do a bunch of other things that other people are doing. That's not me. That will never be my kind of content. Ow, my face. Sir, your tail hurts me a lot. Here, let me... Excuse me? What am I getting hit by? I need to go. Sir, you're rude. You're rude. It's very chilly here. Talk about how easy this boss is, then I'm freaking like cold as shit. Let me, real quick, shoot ya. Boink! In the shin. Let me just get that bleed proc, please. I don't know if you can bleed him. Or he must have a big threshold. But there's the bleed. Right when I say it, that big threshold done break. But that's why I made this channel. I didn't feel like a short response in text really did it justice, if I'm being honest. I wanted to give full context as to why I do this, who I am as an individual, and what I feel about making things just in general. No, I need to get near him. Hi, buddy. Man, you thought This is why you play John Elden Ring right here. Look at all this. Look at all this bullshit that he can do. Quality builds in Souls games are always fun. If you want to just use any weapon, anything, and try and experiment, a quality build is your way to go. Hands down. Hi, buddy. You going straight ahead? You are. Head. If you're going to put your neck out like that for me, I'm going to slap it. Woo! I never get to see that attack. I'm usually just attacking your leg. Is that tail? No, it's different tail. Shoo! I don't really see... That attack is not one I see that often. He mad at me. He mad. Buddy, it sucks that you have such little health left, but I have 2 revives. I don't think you win this. I don't think you do. Yeah, I think that sums up why I am here. Why I am doing what I'm doing. And do I want this to become my career? I would like it. I would like it too. That'd be awesome. I feel like anyone who makes content at some point is like, you know what, doing this for like the entire time would be amazing. Be absolutely fantastic. But I don't need to, if that makes any sense. When using medicinal boluses. Oh, that's actually really cool. That's actually a really cool one. Physical attack boost, change compatible, physical attack ups, blood blade start. That's actually... Red Doctor, not bad. I might hold on to that. Soaring armor inflicts poison. Strength +1. You don't need strength +1 with Duchess. That's a waste. But I think that's what happens to a lot of people is they start to do this as a hobby. And then they're like, you know what? I could actually do this. I could actually have fun and, you know, make this a job. And then they don't realize that it's just does not happen that fast. Everyone talks about like big creators and how they're now like where they are. They don't talk about the 8 years or so that took them getting there. Or for some people these days, 10 years. People have been doing content for so long and they just didn't give up, which was the most important part, but just to keep doing it and getting better. And now we're here. And some of them have made it, some of them have not. The people who go into this being like, I'm going to make this a career, I messed that one up so bad, are usually going to last for about 6 months. They're going to put in all of this super hard effort right out the gate, not to discount any of that. And then they give up because they don't see enough of a return on investment. Everything you see in content creation is based on luck. Everyone who says it is not either has, and I'm going to pull back the veil a little bit here, either has connections already to bigger creators or is paying to promote their videos. That's just all there is to it. If like a trend goes viral, that's one thing. But if you see a video that from a creator you've never heard of before, it's either they already have the connections or they paid the money to promote that video across YouTube. That's just all there is to it. And there are some times when a really big video gets hit by the algorithm perfectly and it works. And that's awesome. But so much of what we do is based on luck. You need to hit it on the right day with the right set of metrics and the right set of whatever the algorithm wants to do that day for something to get pushed. I can't tell you why some videos get pushed and some don't. I can't. But I can say that the people who blow up and then claim to know all of the algorithm hacks and secrets, their secret is money, half the time. Their secret is I paid to have this pushed forward. Their secret is I knew a lot of people in the industry. Or they're just putting these keywords where it's like, oh, I know the algorithm hacks. And if you literally look at their channel, their views, their subscribers, and all of that stuff, it's kind of obvious they don't. It's kind of a lot of like a snake oil salesman, honestly. A lot of YouTube gurus that know the secrets. You want to know the secret to YouTube and content is? Have fun. You want to know why? Because the people who make the videos about things they are genuinely passionate about are the ones who last the longest on this platform and the ones who can make a living doing this consistently for 10 plus years. Because they haven't sold out who they are, because they haven't burnt out. That's why you hear so many people, even the really big creators, they have like a few years and then they're just like, oh, controversy, I'm burnout, bye-bye, I'm done. Because they stop doing what's fun for them. There's an amazing video by Super Eye Patch Wolf about creator courses and being a content creator and him reaching 1 million subs that I always put on when I want to like remind myself that this is not, so because sometimes I fall into that. I got to get the numbers. I got to get that. I feel like no matter what, if you create something, you fall into that mindset here and there. And you just need to remind yourself that's not why you started doing this, and you need to stay true to that. Because the moment you give up on making things you enjoy, the moment you give up on making things that make you happy, the moment you stop doing what's fun for you, and it just starts a clock to when you give up. Because you're not doing it for you anymore. You're doing it to please the masses. And that does not work for anybody. So, once again, I'm telling you to do things for yourself. I'm telling you to do things that are fun. I'm telling you to try new things that you enjoy. And if you know it, you don't stick with it, that's fine. You still tried something new. Keep going, keep learning, and keep enjoying life. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I sure as hell enjoyed talking to all of you and beating the crap out of Dragon. As always, everyone, good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever each and every one of you wonderful individuals are. And we'll see all of you next time.